Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We will also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 41. At the beginning of this year, I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year and to run 1,250 miles in that year as well. I just started running in 2019, October, and was able to run 100 miles from October to December, or until January of 2020, October 2019 till January 2020. I was able to run 100 miles before the new year kicked in. And that kind of got me on this running kick where last year in 2020, I ran 176 days out of the year and was able to run my first untimed or unofficial timed marathon. I clocked in at 5 hours and 30 minutes, and I was able to run my first 1,000 miles within 1 year, just now starting as a runner. So this year I really want to step it up, and I challenged myself to do every day out of the year this year and to, like I said, run 1,250 miles. That being said, today is day 41, like I said, and I ran only 1.5 today. I was going to run 6.7, but I just didn't feel good. I felt a little nauseous and came up with some excuses not to go out there and put it all in, but that excuse isn't going to last too long because I also challenged myself on day 33 to run 33 miles per week. So I only put 1.5 in today, but that just means I'm going to have to put more in tomorrow and more in the next day to make up for what I didn't put in today. But again, that being said, I did do 1.5 miles today. I am at 41.1 for the month, and for the year, I am currently at 147.5. With that 33 miles per week, I challenged myself to the God Bod Challenge, which is something I kind of made up, and it's doing 33 push-ups a day and 33 sit-ups a day for 33 days straight, all while maintaining running 33 miles per week. So that was something I started 9 days ago. Today was day 9, and I did my push-ups and sit-ups. I will add that to the end of this video. If you are just listening, you won't hear the grunts of me pushing up and doing the sit-ups. You'll just have to take my word for it, or you'll have to go back and watch the video to see day 9 of push-ups and sit-ups. But that being said as well, I do want to check real quick and let you know what I am at currently for mileage of the week. I told you mileage for the month, but I did not let you know mileage for my week currently. This week I am only at 8 miles, so I have quite a bit to go. And on here it says I have 24.9, so just I thought maybe 25 exactly. So I 24.9 miles to go this week. And other than that, guys, I want to kind of talk to you before I get started in today's episode. I want to kind of talk to you about a fundraiser. Last month I started the 100-mile challenge of running 100 miles in January in honor of a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, which we raised $380 for. This month I decided to continue doing the 100-mile challenge every month. This month for February, since it being Black History Month, I thought what better thing than to do a fundraiser that would help the Black community, especially here locally in Detroit. So I did a February fundraiser for the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network. And what they do is they work to build self-reliance, food security, and justice in Detroit's Black community. They do that by influencing public policy, engaging in urban agriculture, and they promote healthy eating, and they encourage cooperative buying and directing youth towards careers in the food-related fields. This podcast being kind of a thing about trying to be healthy, not just with your diet, but exercising and all of that, I thought this would be a perfect fundraiser to donate to this month. And especially it being Black History Month and it being a local fundraiser, this is what we got going. So far, we've only raised $40, but we have a goal of 200. So if you can, please make a donation. Let's hit this goal. Let's help out this cause. I know right now is kind of a tough time for everyone, so you might not be able to make donations, but please share it and let other people know that this is going on. So maybe if they are able to make a donation, they can. And this donation is actually going through my personal Facebook page. And all of the donations go directly to this fundraiser. Nothing goes to Facebook. Like, Facebook is a perfect, they've set up something perfect here where you can do these fundraisers and they won't take any cut, and all the money goes directly to the fundraiser. And that's a really cool thing, and it's helping out a lot of people. So if you can, go on my personal Facebook page. I have links there, and I'm going to post some links in the Defining Discipline page as well for you guys to be able to access these and donate. Other than that, let's kind of get into today's episode. And I have nothing written for today's episode. I have the theme, and it's something that I kind of want to talk about, where I didn't feel like I had to really kind of write anything down. I just wanted to get directly to it because it's something that has been haunting me, especially as of late. Even as I'm doing this podcast that is trying to be against it, this is something that keeps coming up, and I have to find a better way to battle it. So today is episode 41, ladies and gentlemen. And for today's episode, today's theme for episode 41 is going to be distractions. Distractions. We all have distractions. We all get distracted by lots of things that take up our time that probably don't need to take up our time. And it's kind of like a habit thing and maybe a comfort thing that we kind of just fall into this reliance of finding distractions to keep us away from the things that we actually really need to be attending to. I myself, before doing this podcast and posting every day and doing all of this, I actually kind of stayed off Facebook as much as possible. I did a little bit of scrolling and stuff, but I didn't comment, I didn't post. I tried to stay off my phone, but now doing this podcast, I find myself scrolling more and wasting more time on my phone. I find myself, when I started this podcast and before, in late last 2020, I got really heavy again into just strictly listening to music while doing things. Now I'm back to listening to podcasts on my TV while doing things, and I'll find myself distracted and getting caught up in listening to what's going on in the podcast, and then 20 minutes will go by and I'll realize I just stood there and haven't done anything that I need to get done. And I'm trying to I got so much on my plate right now because I am going to be a new father coming up here in about a month and a half. We don't know the exact date, but roughly a month to 2 months, I'm going to have a child, my first child, and I'm going to be trying to balance all of this with a child. But on top of that, it's I'm still so far from being prepared for having that child. Today I got some of the basement painted, so I had to sit around and wait for that to dry. I got the floor painted down there, and I can't even walk down there right now, but it's actually pretty much dry, so I can get down there and get to work and try to finish that. But there's so much that I need to get done, but all these distractions are kind of just taking over and leading me into the wrong direction, and I'm being not necessarily lazy because I'm still getting out there every day and running and doing all this and being on the grind, but that is almost my excuse to put off anything else I need to get done. It's I'm okay, well, I got my run in today, I got my episode done, I'll attend to that tomorrow. I'll attend to this stuff that needs to get done tomorrow. And it's all because of distractions, new shows. I was never really, I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I know everyone got into The Mandalorian. I didn't get into that. I haven't watched that. But now I am a Marvel guy, and they came out with WandaVision, and I got hooked on that. I know that's only once a week, but it's I'm sitting there waiting for it every week, and I now I notice myself, we got caught up on a couple Apple TV shows that I think are pretty good, but again, they're just distractions from keeping me from doing the things I need to get done, including reading and writing and focusing on this and trying to start and try to get this developed as a business and trying to work out things that I need to get done. I'm getting distracted too much by other things. So I wanted to talk about distractions today in hopes that I can put this out there and be able to really soak it up and get rid of these distractions. And and think back to today that I'm talking about it, like, hey, quit doing this. You just talked about this. You need to really get into it. And I know a lot of people go through this too, and that's another reason why I wanted to talk about it today. It's because I know a lot of people get distracted with lots of different things, lots of different habits, addictions, and other things that maybe keep them away from focusing on what they need to focus on. And I don't have answers to what you could possibly do to rid yourself of those distractions, but I do know that it's kind of like a reward system that I think is the best thing to go through. It's distractions will always be there. It's more about how much you let them distract you. So I think there needs to be like a reward. I think the best thing to approach to this is to have a reward system where you follow your to-do lists that we've talked about before. I think in episode 25 where we talked about doing, writing down things, your lists. Maybe you can focus on your lists, and then when you see you got enough stuff done, maybe you get, if it's a daily list, hopefully you get all of it done. But if it's, like a list that's like something you have to get done throughout the week, maybe you try to tackle, 15% of it every day, or whatever the case is. Try to make sure you get enough done. And then once you get enough done on that list, then you can maybe reward yourself with a distraction. And I know, again, this is easier said than done, and maybe people being like, well, no, I'd rather just be distracted. But as someone who gets distracted a lot, I also know that's why I get depressed and I get sad and I get upset with myself because I'm not putting everything into what I can do. And distractions for the moment make you feel good, make you feel like, hey, I just need to relax, I need to recuperate, and this distraction is helping me recover. And then you can get too comfortable with that idea where you want to distract yourself all the time, but you fall into a deep depression because nothing's getting done and you don't feel accomplished and you don't feel like you have a purpose. And again, I think that's where this kind of reward thing works out. If you can put off the pleasures for some suffering that you don't want to do, not necessarily, like killing you or hurting you suffering, but just things that, like, painfully you just don't want to do it. You're just like, I don't want to wash the dishes today, or I don't want to cut my grass today, or I don't want to shovel the snow. I'll just not do it. I don't want to take the trash out. Get those things done in order to reward yourself after the fact. Distractions, as we're talking about them, though, I do want to also not just leave distractions to and on a bad note. Distractions sometimes can be a good thing. Like I said, if you use them in moderation and you use them as a reward, I think distractions can become very useful for you. No matter what you're doing, sometimes you can get too caught up in working hard on something, and you do need a distraction to take your mind off of something, whatever it be. Sometimes, I know lots of things happen in life, death, breakups, anything that has like a negative effect that kind of will screw up your psyche. Sometimes distractions are always good in those moments, trying to keep busy, to keep your mind off of what might be ailing it and bringing you down. So distractions aren't always necessarily a bad thing, but the distraction I am talking about in my case currently right now, I have too many of them. I don't need a distraction to keep my mind off of things. I need to keep my mind focused on things and keep the distractions out. That being said, guys, though, I don't want to keep you too much longer. Like I said, I will throw the God Bod Challenge push-ups and sit-ups at the end of this video for you guys to watch. And I want to thank you guys so much for listening and following along. Today is day 41 out of 365, and it has been a journey, and it's been awesome. And sometimes, like I said, it's been, not necessarily a bummer, but it's been harder than, it's been a struggle. That's, I guess, the right word to use. Sometimes it has been a struggle of trying to push through and focus on, running every day. Today I had a real bad stomach ache. Like I said, I planned to do 6.7 and just felt like crap and didn't want to get out there at all. But, I knew I had to put the miles in. I knew I had to do the episode. So I said, screw it. Did the 1.5. I said, I'll have to add miles on tomorrow, the next day, the following day, and reschedule my runs and see how that works out. But I'm still going to hit 33. So again, thank you guys so much. If you can, please give us a like and a follow and a subscribe on our Facebook and our Instagram, on our YouTube. You can find us on the streaming podcast platforms. You can listen along. You won't catch all the visuals of some episodes. Not all episodes have visuals, but these ones right now currently do for the at the end of the push-ups. Some episodes I do outside while running. So you can kind of see, get like a nature feel. That's sometimes nice too. I guess the audio quality isn't the best on those though. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for following and listening along. I've only gotten some good reviews. I did get one guy mad at me for posting every day, but I think that was a personal problem on his part. I think he was kind of feeling bad for himself. That's on him. Either way, like I said, I don't mind people hating. That's fine. You want to hate, you can hate all you want. It's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. But again, thank you so much. Follow, share, and let people know about this podcast, especially people that might need this kind of motivation to get them going and starting their own lives and following things that they want to get done. But other than that, guys, I do want to kind of head out and close this episode out. So I'm going to leave you with your daily discipline, and that is to cut the distractions out of your life, especially only the ones though that you don't need. If you are in that state in life where you think you need a distraction, like I said, maybe you're going through a bad breakup, maybe you lost someone that's close to you, maybe you lost a pet, there's plenty of things. Maybe you lost your job. There's plenty of things that, maybe if you did lose your job, maybe you shouldn't be distracted, but the same, because you might want to try to hurry up and get back and try to find another job. But at the same time, if you need to have those distractions, then I get it. But if you don't find yourself in one of those predicaments and you find yourself not accomplishing things that you need to get done, maybe that is when you need to look at distractions the other way. And you need to try to figure a way to cut them out of your life, be it by rewarding yourself with the distractions after you accomplish things, or maybe you just try to go cold turkey and you try to go, full throttle into changing your life and getting rid of the distractions. That is something I need to do. I don't need to always reward myself. I need to try to just really just put the grind in, because that's what I need to do as of now. Maybe once the baby comes, I can start doing the rewarded with the distractions thing. But right now I need to have my foot on the pedal, full throttle. I need to get some stuff done around this house. But other than that, guys, thank you again so much for listening. There was your daily discipline. It is to get rid of all your distractions unless you're in the predicament where you might need a distraction. But yet again, that is all based on your current circumstance. So, thank you so much. It's been a journey. Episode 41 in the books. Make sure you guys stay disciplined. I will see you tomorrow. Peace out. February 10th, 2021, day 9 of the God Bod Challenge. Slippery. Hey, get back up there. We're gonna go in a second. You go for a run? Go outside, go for a run? Come on, let's go.